Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to today's sets in the Open Great League. And today we are gonna play another buffed Pokemon. Metal Sound got a bit stronger, so I really want to try out a Metal Sound Pokemon, and I thought, why not try out Bronzong? Bronzong has this move. I don't know if it got it this season or the season before, but I still want to try that Pokemon out. We will lead with Bronzong with the moveset Metal Sound, Psyshock, and Payback. And at the back we will have Safe Switch Furret with Sucker Punch, Swift, and Trailblaze. And at the back as well is Primeape with Karate Chop, Rage Fist, and Close Combat. Yesterday I already tried Shadow Madang, so the typing is exactly the same, and I really want to see if the Bronzong is as strong as the Madang from yesterday. First battle of the day. What will we get with our Bronzong? It is a Shadow Dragonair. I would say it is fine for me, and into a Diggersby. The animation is pretty cool, I guess. The animation of that Metal Sound really looks nice here. Swords and Sands. That was a CMP type with probably the Fire Punch. And the opponent is using a shield here. So I will shield back this Fire Punch. And then use the next Chaos Combat here. So if you want to have the switch, you really have to shield twice here. What you are actually doing. Okay. So now I will just wait for the switching timer a bit and come in with the Furret. Okay, the opponent is absolutely not doing anything. And he is switching out, alright. Back into Bronzong with a Psyshock. I really enjoy this Metal Sound animation. It looks pretty cool, I guess. I think we should survive that. It is a wrap, a buffed move as well. So my defense is lowered now, but we can farm down that Dragonair. And Diggersby is back in action. Let's use a shield here. And the Psyshock should do the job. We do have a bit of energy on our Bronzong, so that's why I just used a shield here, knocking out the Diggersby. And here is Cradily with Acid, actually. The opponent also enjoys the new moves, I guess. Into the switch out, Trailblaze, that was a CMP type. And this looks pretty good for us here. Come on, Furret, please do something. Thanks. Okay, and I think the opponent just gave up here. And that's our first win of the day, which is pretty nice. And we are instantly carrying on with that team. And here's the next opponent with our Bronzong against a Talonflame. That is absolutely terrible. Instantly switching out into Furret. And in comes a Gastrodon. Okay. I mean, I do have Trailblazers, which is double effective against Gastrodon. And I'm getting the shield here. And I would say you get one shield back for that Body Slam. Let's just shield again. You know what? Let's try that out. Another Trailblaze. We are on +2 now. So maybe we can do something here. It's a bit of a risk to have a Primeape without shields. But we will still try our best here. Here's the shield from the Talonflame. Oh yes, that was important. That was super important that we survived that Incinerate here. Talonflame is down. And at the back is a Shadow Marowak. And the opponent is giving up here. That was pretty close because I guess the Talonflame would be able to sweep here when we wouldn't be able to knock that thing out with the Furret. But thankfully that worked like this. Especially with the moveset of Flame Charge and a flying type move, I would have a big problem, but still it just worked like this, which is pretty nice actually. And the opponent had a triple Bronzong counter team basically, with an Incinerate Pokemon at the lead and two Mudslappers at the back. Arrow finding match. We are pretty early in the season, so I really hope to find an opponent here. And here we do have one. Bronzong against Typhlosion. Absolutely terrible again. I'm gonna use a shield here. Or the Blast Burn, that's a nice one. You're coming in with the Samurott, where I do have the super effective Trailblazes. And we're getting one shield back here. Number 2 Trailblaze. No shield this time, okay. And a Lapras comes in. I'm hoping for the CMP type. That's why I didn't use the Trailblaze. Getting the shield, and it actually was the CMP type. That is nice. And we can come in with the Bronzong for the completely resisted Psywings here. Typhlosion is back. And I hope that this does the job. Not the Shadow version. I'm not sure if that's enough. And it isn't enough. Yeah, let's just use a shield. Knock out the Typhlosion and then have the close combat into the Lapras. For the next win here of the day. Nice one. Lapras is down as well. So we do have another win here today. But so far I really have to admit that Furret is the star. Now Furret really is the star of the day. But maybe we can see a bit more from the Bronzong. And the first idea of that video, or of that theme, was to lead with Primeape and play Bronzong at the back. But I wanted to see a bit more from the Bronzong, so I decided to lead with that. And in comes a Deden. Alright. Sucker Punches are resisted, and you do have the buffed Parabolic Charge. Is a bit unfortunate. And you're instantly using the Parabolic Charge here, so that's a discharge actually, okay. That was a CMP tie. I would say I'm surviving this discharge. Yes. And I'm having a Swift here. So we are actually getting the switch with the Furret. Golem has, I think, was it 2 or was it 3 Mudslaps? I don't remember, but we will come in with the Primeape anyway. And Lapras is at the back with Frost Breath. Okay. Not with Psywave this time. But I'm still doing this. Psyshock from the Bronzong. So maybe we can see something from the Bronzong here. Be nice. Okay, that's not that much damage actually. But it was a CMP type, which right now isn't really mattering, I guess. Okay, here's the sparkling area from the opponent. And I don't really know how many Frost Breaths you need for one sparkling area. Okay, we are knocking out that Lapras, and Golem comes in. I'm gonna use a shield here. I don't want to get farmed down with the Primeape without reaching a move, or without reaching 2 back-to-back moves. That's what I wanted to say. So let's just do it like this, and now we should be fine. We can use a shield here and then knock out the Golem with a CC here. Rock Blast would be resisted, but I'm still using my shield here. And here is the knockout with the close combat. Nice one. Nice one here. And to be honest, I haven't seen Golem in the Go Battle League at all, I think. But maybe, I mean, it is a Mudslap Pokemon, so it's probably not too terrible at all. And I also don't know the second move of that thing. Maybe Earthquake or something? I don't know. Into the next Pokemon we go, and it's a Dragauk with Acid. And the opponent tried to catch a move here. And that payback was actually not really necessary because we do have the Furret. Still a nice damage. No shield to surf and farm that thing down here. It was a bit of a misplay, to be honest, to use that payback against the Jelly Sand. That wasn't necessary. Aqua Tail is fine. We are gonna use a Swift here. And and another one. If you want to keep that thing alive, you definitely have to use a shield here. What you are actually doing, okay. And that looked a bit weird and laggy, but fine for me. Okay. Let's see how tanky Bronzong is. Actually pretty tanky. Actually pretty tanky. Rage Fist for a bit of damage. And I think I was lagging here. I had a 1-turn lag, because after 3 rollouts it shouldn't be a CMP type. Here is the next Rage Fist from the Primeape. Last shield from the opponent. Nice one. Going for a no shield here. And that's fine for me. I can just go for the Metal Sound farm down and then use Psyshocks against that Blastoise at the back. So you actually do have back-to-back Aqua Tail. Alright. But that should do the job, and we would have a second one back here. Psyshock for the knockout against the Blastoise. Nice one. Nice one. And that was a 5-0 here at the start of the day. That is our reward here. Not too strong, but still fine for me. Rank number 7, and we're getting 1600 Stardust as well. And in we go into the next set of the day. Altaria. That's fine for me. With my Steel type Pokemon. Let's just use that first Psyshock here. I think every move you have is resisted against my Bronzong. So let's just find that out. The Sky Attack, not that much damage actually. Into the next Psyshock. Getting the shield from that Altaria, okay. Next Psyshock. Alright. And the opponent have to use a move here. I would say that's fine, because now I can switch into the Primeape, farm down with 2 Karate Chops. Deoxys in the defense form. I haven't seen this Pokemon in a while, to be honest. Bit of a weird matchup, because you do have the Psycho boost for super effective damage, and I probably have to shield twice now. Shield number 1. It's actually the Rock Slide, okay. Then I'm able to knock out that Deoxys. Do we see a Primeape sweep here? Yes, we do. Or do we? I do have to use the Rage Fist because the Bug Bites are doing so much damage from the Forestress. And now I need the Furret to finish the job here, but that should work, to be honest. That really should work here. That's probably a Rock Tomb. I didn't count here, but it doesn't feel like 22 Bug Bites. Exactly, it's the Rock Tomb. And that Swift should be enough to knock out that Forestress. That Bug Bites really did a high amount of damage against a fighting type Pokemon which should resist the bug type moves. But still, we are able to win here. And we are having the next win of the day. I think this opponent really got core broken by the Bronzong a bit. Because we also would have that super effective payback for that Deoxys. But in we go to the next battle against a Malamar. Not exactly what I want to see. That's a bit of a core breaker for me. The Psywaves are not doing that much damage, so I can survive one foul play and then use my payback here. Getting the shield. And I think I'm fine with that. I think I am fine with that shield advantage. And that Sucker Punches are really doing a solid amount of damage against that Malamar. So that's another foul play, alright. I do not want to use my second shield against the Malamar as well, so I'm throwing the Swift here. But I'm getting the last shield from the opponent. Alright, let's try out the Primeape sweep. Let's just try out the Primeape sweep. Okay, probably not against Toxapex, but we will try anyway. We will try that anyway. We do have the shield advantage, but that thing isn't really getting any damage from the Rage Fists or the Karate Chops. And the Rage Fists are neutral, but we are not a ghost type, so it's not doing that much damage. We obviously do have to shield this move here. And I don't even know if we are fast enough to reach the next two Rage Fists against the Toxapex. And then we wouldn't have any HP left against the last Pokemon. So basically that is just over here. Exactly. There is not really anything we can do here against this Pokemon. Alright. That's actually the first loss of the day in the 7th battle. Pretty solid, actually. Maybe I should have shielded my Bronzong at least once against that Malamar. I think that would be a good idea. Next, Dragon Lead. I like to see these Dragon-type Pokemon. This time the Dragoneer stays in. And that's probably an Aqua Tail from a not Water-type Pokemon. That's fine for me. I can definitely tank that move. Exactly. And the opponent switches out into Corviknight. So I'm switching into the Primeape because the Furret don't really have a move against that thing. Nice. Maybe I can go for a shield farm down here. It's the Sky Attack. That needs a bit more energy. Come on, Primeape. Nope. Now we do have to shield a second time. Wasn't fast enough with my switch. That was a problem here. Second Sky Attack. The Corv is knocked out. And Dragonair is back in action. And we are saving this close combat here for later. Primeape is winning so many CMP ties, so I'm really hoping that this will help us later. Alright, the Dragonair can use another Aqua Tail here. We are still alive, and we are using... Oh, come on, we're using a Psyshock against the Drapion. But I guess better than nothing. And that was 2 now. Okay. 4, 5, 6, 7. CMP tie, which Drapion is winning. I really hope that the Swift is doing a bit here. It's actually a Sludge Bomb, alright. This is actually a Sludge Bomb here. And you're using a shield, okay. Now we should be fine here. I'm just staying in. The opponent uses probably Crunch now. And we do have the close combat to knock out the Drapion. Nice. That close combat was pretty helpful at the end. Nice one again. So far I'm really happy with that Bronzong, to be honest. I think it suits me a bit better than the Shadow Madang from yesterday. But it's also a different team, to be fair. Yesterday I played Galarian Moltres and Shadow Quagsire with Madang lead. And this time, I'm trying something different. Okay, this is nice. This is cool. This is the Pokemon I played yesterday. Yurikator Madang. But you don't have a move against me here. That's Guru Ball, or not that much damage. And I'm having the payback. And into Furret. The next Fury Cutter Pokemon. But we do have a super effective move against you as well. With the Trailblaze. That's the second shield from the opponent. And I think I want to try the Primeape sweep. Oh, we are actually pretty healthy. Good job from the Furret here. That's the next Hydro Cannon. It's fine for me, I guess. And we can come in with the Primeape now. That was a CMP type. Or at least it looked like that. And I think that you need 10 Fury Cutters for one Hydro Cannon. Oh god. Cloudsire, yes. Who doesn't want to see a Cloudsire at the back? Okay. Can we survive again? Psyshock, yes, definitely. Into the payback, which is hopefully knocking out the Madang. Yes. But we can't reach the Psy Shock, which is a bit unfortunate. I don't think we can reach 3 of our Rage Fists here. I mean, we do have back-to-back, and it looks like the opponent has Stone Edge and not Sludge Bomb, which is definitely helpful. Should we risk it to survive the Stone Edge? I would say we're risking it. Nice. Perfect. That was important. And that is even enough to knock out that Clodsire. My plan was to do that and then maybe a close combat or something, but it wasn't even that close here at the back. Alright. I think the better option would be to instantly use the payback against the Madang, because otherwise, or because the Clodsire wouldn't really be able to farm us down and we would have the Psy Shock. But it also worked like that. And that's a Primeape lead. That's a bit of a problem, to be honest. And it also was a bit of a problem yesterday with the Madang. But I think this time it should be a bit better. Because we were a bit tankier with the Bronzong, and we do have neutral fast moves against that Primeape. Okay. Let's use a shield here. I think the opponent would be able to farm us down, so I will switch into my own Primeape. And use a shield. Because that thing is on +2. And close combat would completely destroy us. And in comes a Mandibuzz. Is back-to-back close combat enough to knock that thing out? I don't think so. Oh, it is. It actually is enough to knock out the Mandibuzz. Now the Primeape can probably farm me down. Exactly. Ah, that's not good. That is not good, but I can come in with the Bronzong for a bit of damage and then hopefully farm down with the Furret. Because now you are not buffed anymore and you can't farm me down here. Rage Fist. Alright. And a Clodsire at the back. I definitely want to buff my attack stat. I don't think that I can win this one-on-one without the shield advantage with the Furret, but I'm still trying it. Other Sucker Punches are doing a bit of damage. What do you have? It is the Earthquake. I can survive the Earthquake, but it is pretty close, and I think this is not enough to knock you out. Nope, it isn't. And here is the CMP tie. But it was pretty close again, actually. It really was pretty close again. A 3-2 this time. And there is nothing else to say than thank you very much for watching and see you next time. Bye bye.